Bonjour Internautes, it's Laura. I have a confession to make. I am aware that I look like Macapaca as well. I am conditioning my hair, just, you have to live with it. My confession is that I've been lying to myself and lying to you guys by proxy. I am not doing too well mental health wise. I thought I was. I'm not. I'm going to tell you all. First of all, slight disclaimer, if you hear any animal noises, I apologise. I can find my camera, I can't find my SD card, and I can't find the batteries. So we're off to a good start here. So I'm having to record this on my laptop, so I apologise for the noises and the locale. I'm sorry. Also, I have a whole load of stuff on my normal perching point for my camera, so I can't do that. Anyway, let's get back onto the video. So, the other day, last Thursday, I was sent home, no, last Wednesday, I was sent home from work because apparently I was like wandering around looking lost, and my manager called me in for a meeting. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And then she, obviously she dug all of this out of me, and basically I feel that I'm getting worse to get better. That's my hope. That's my positive spin on things. For those of you who don't know, I've had depression for many, many, many years. I've had mental health problems since I was a child. I remember being 9 or 10 and having OCD situations where I used to chant, "I love my mummy, I love my daddy, and I love my brother too," every night, three times over before I could sleep. And quite often it would just be multiplied by 3, so I'd be doing it thousands of times just to get to sleep. And I apologise also because I got really stuffy sinuses and I can't breathe. So yeah. So I had the mental health when I was a child. My dad had an accident when I was 10. I was just about to turn 11. It was 2 days before my birthday. And I then became a carer for my dad, and my mum had a mental breakdown. I became carer for my mum. I became carer for my younger brother, who was only like 2 or 3 at the time. And, basically I don't blame that situation. In fact, I think that the situation made me so much stronger as a person. But unfortunately, several things in my life have happened to cause me to be really, really depressed. So I had that, and then I went up into secondary school, and I was an A grade student, and I did really, really well considering I didn't pass my 11 plus. I only failed by a few marks. And the 11 plus is used in England and in the UK, obviously, to decide whether or not you go to a grammar school. So you have comprehensive schools, which is like the school that anyone goes to, and then you have a grammar school, which the more academically inclined children go to. Anyway, my school was a half and half school, so it was a comprehensive with a grammar twist, and I was allowed to study on the grammar stream, even though I didn't pass the 11 plus. Anyway, so I was an A grade student, and I was in top set for everything. Oh God, what happened to my voice? I was in top set for everything, and then depression hit when I was in year 8, which is second year of secondary school, and then from then on from the age of 12, I've been going completely off the rails. Like, I'm completely off my rocker. I look like Macapaca. Don't know what's going on in my life. So I'm nearly 28. Well, no, I'm 27, but in 5 months' time I'll be 28, and I'm going to drink some tea. It's too hot. It's too hot. So yeah, my grades slipped because of my depression. I used to be really bitter about this, but I was punished at school because my grades were slipping, and obviously I was a little bit of a rebel as well. I never really did anything wrong, but I was kind of treated as I was doing stuff wrong, so that made me want to do stuff wrong, if that makes sense. And then, so my grades started slipping, and of course the school decided to punish me for that because they knew I could do better, and I think they were trying to like pressure the academic grades out of me, but obviously I was going through something internally that I didn't understand. I couldn't explain to anyone. My parents were so unwell themselves, I didn't want to divulge all of this information to them. And my brother was so young that I could talk to him, but he didn't always understand, and he still is my rock. But, you know, it's absolutely it's partly my fault because I didn't really tell anyone, but the depression just got worse and worse and worse. And then when I was in year 11, I think I was in year 10. No, what year was I in? Year 9. And I started Air Cadets. And then through Air Cadets I met some good friends. I met my first boyfriend and all of that. I went to an all-girls school. It was quite stressful having a boyfriend and stuff. And then I had this boyfriend who wasn't really that great for me. We were in a toxic relationship. We were toxic for each other. I don't resent him, really. I used to resent him loads, but he wouldn't let me go out and see my friends, wouldn't let me be on MSN Messenger. That is how old I am. MSN Messenger was a thing. I wasn't allowed to go on MySpace. Do you see what I mean? Anyway, so my grades slipped even further, and I remember my first day of sixth form college, and the teacher, my physics teacher, right, and I was like top of the year in science, and my physics teacher was like, because you've only got C grade, and I got I got a double A star in science, and I got a B in German, and, you know, anyway, I did all right considering that my grades had slipped massively. I got mostly C's. The only GCSE that I failed was religious education. I got an E, and I'm not that unproud of that, to be fair. I didn't want to do religious education. I went to a Catholic school. Just had to be done. Anyway, I'm a massive heathen, obviously. So anyway, what am I talking about? Woman, talk sensibly. I've completely forgotten the line of what I was saying. Yeah, anyway, my teacher, he told me, because you've only got this grade and that grade, oh, for flipping X's sake, stop going black. No, don't do that, come back, bloody hell. Because he said, oh, you're likely to get all E's for your A-levels, and that just kind of put me off even further. See, this is the thing. Some people, if you tell them they're going to be really rubbish at something, they work really hard to make it better. But if I'm told I'm rubbish at something, I just become rubbish because I'm like, oh, I can't do anything. Anyway, I developed a eating disorder. I didn't eat anything during sixth form. I had this teacher who was absolutely dreadful to me. She was my English literature teacher, and I didn't even want to study English literature. I had to because of timetable issues, and looking back, had my anxiety not been so bad, I would have applied to different colleges, but I didn't. I've learnt from my mistakes. I've learnt that, you know, don't let anxiety hold you back. I'm sure this is going really slow. Is it going slow? I don't know. I don't want to let anxiety hold me back. But anyway, my main issue now is the depression. I've been going to an OCD therapy group. I've met some really cool people through there, and, you know, my OCD, I'm starting to get over it, and I'm not checking doors. Very rarely am I checking doors, and, you know, I'm getting better in that respect. But obviously the anxiety is there and the depression is there. Now, I've always been a night owl. That means that I don't do mornings, and I get really, I'm most creative in the middle of the night. Basically I'm a vampire. That's what it is. I have forced myself to become a lark. I forced myself to fit in with society, and society dictates that we all get up at 6 in the morning and go to bed at 11 o'clock at night. That's just kind of how society works. I would be great if I could do just night shifts, but it's not healthy for you anyway, and yeah. Anyway, I don't really work too well with the whole lark thing. I forced myself into it. Like, I wake up at 5 a.m. every day now. Just wake up at 5 a.m. Doesn't matter if I went to bed at 4 a.m. I'll wake up at 5 a.m. So I forced myself into this pattern, and part of my doing that is because I forced myself to have routine. Now, routine helps me to put my head in a correct and well manageable place. I thrive on routine, and unfortunately, when I get depressed, like my husband can tell that I'm getting depressed again, because he's like, "You're not doing this and you're not doing that." So when I get depressed, basically what happens is I start getting up really late, and like I'll stay in bed even though I'm awake, and like I have to leave for work at 8:20 in the morning, and I will get up at like 8, and even then I want to set my alarm for another snooze, and then I won't have time to eat breakfast. I'll have time to feed the animals, because I live for these animals, and I'll feed them, and then I'll go out and I won't eat, and then I don't eat at work because I just don't like lunch, and I get home and I'll have a headache because my blood sugar's really low, and I haven't drunk enough water because I've forgotten to look after myself, and then I get into this rut where I can't look after myself, and I, really struggle. So, that's how my depression goes. I know that I'm getting depressed because my routine goes completely squarely out the window. So I decided yesterday that I wanted, don't go away, I decided yesterday that I wanted to start this morning, like get myself back into gear, kick myself up the bum and get myself in gear. I found, the other day I was playing Pokemon Go, and I found a gym, an outdoor gym, and I can never afford to go to the gym because money, financial stuff is just stressful. Anyway, I found an outdoor gym which is free to use for residents of the town. So I was going to go there this morning, and I was going to run there and run back, and I spent the whole of last night, spilt tea on myself. I spent the whole of last night wide awake with a flipping migraine that could slay a walrus. I've still got a headache. I've taken cocodamol this morning, which is probably why I'm a bit spaced out. But I had a flipping headache that was so bad that I couldn't even get out of bed to get painkillers, and it was basically I spent the whole night clutching my head, and today my sinuses are really heavily blocked and it's really painful, so that's probably why I have a migraine. And I feel sick, so I can't eat anything. I'm still managed to eat chocolate though. That gets us the mentals. So yeah, my routine hasn't really happened. I thought I would update you guys because I completely missed my upload opportunity on Saturday. I apologise profusely for that. I was kind of not in a good place on Saturday. I was supposed to go down to back to see my parents. It's like a 100-mile drive each way. I was going to see them today, but I phoned them up this morning. I was like, I can't drive in this situation. My head is like, ouch. It feels like someone's got an axe between my eyes. It's so painful, honestly. So yeah, my routine goes out the window. I just kind of get myself into a little rut. Then I have a big old cry, and when I feel like this, I feel like I'm never going to get better. I remember crying to my husband yesterday saying, I'm never going to be better. But that's a lie. I asked the doctor the other day. By the way, they've upped my citalopram to 40 milligrams. Probably why I'm a bit tired as well, apart from the fact that I didn't sleep. Whatever. The doctor said that I will recover eventually. I just need time. But unfortunately, because I am a night owl and because of my mental health and the various problems I have, I don't really feel though that I, integrate with society very well because, I'm an introvert for one thing, and the other thing is that I don't think that I do too well. I know I say I need routine, but I don't think I do too well with having to work full time. So I've been signed off work for 2 weeks, and I feel like when I'm signed off, I feel like an absolute fraud. Like my work sent me home, independent of what I said. They said that you have to go home. You're not well. And I was like, but I need to work. And I'm like, it's like presenteeism. I have to go to work. I force myself to go to work. And I have this really big fear of losing my job because of my mental health. I've been told that I will not lose my job. But I just feel that, I feel so scared because I've been in this job less than 6 months and this is my third sickness episode. Obviously, I just have to get better, and you know, it's taken me 15 years to get to this point, and you know, I will get better eventually. I'm starting to get the help now. I'm getting the counselling, I'm getting the medication that I kind of held at arm's length for such a long time. I am starting to organise my thoughts. I am starting to realise that I need to spend time doing stuff for myself. I've spent every day since I was 11 years old working my fingers to the bone. I've spent every single day absolutely exhausting myself, and I never have any free time. So of course I'm not going to be in the right place mentally. So yesterday was the 31st of July, Harry Potter's birthday, and The Cursed Child came out, and I got invited to a midnight event to pick up the book. I picked up my pre-ordered copy, and yesterday I spent the entire day reading, so I actually have my copy right here. So I have it here. I already read it yesterday, and I have not spent a day just reading since the last Harry Potter book came out. And I haven't actually finished a book in a day for ages. I think I've read about a grand total of about 5 books since the last Harry Potter book came out. That's a really long time to not read, and I am such a bookworm. I love reading, you know, and that's the thing. I haven't let myself live my life. I've constantly forced myself to struggle through life. I work so hard. I get up in the morning, I do loads of chores around the house, I go to work, I come home, do more chores, and then, you know, I do my uni work. Oh, that's the other thing. I'll tell you that in a minute. I just go to bed and I'm exhausted. And then the next morning it all happens again. And when do I get time for free time? I don't. I just, you know, spend the whole time cleaning and working and all of that jazz. So yeah, the other thing that's kind of spun me off on this like tangent of depression is that as you guys know, I was at the end of my degree. I finished my degree, supposedly. That was it, but I failed my dissertation. I can resubmit, so I didn't fail too badly. But I still failed, and it means I've got to spend the next 2 months doing my dissertation again. I'm not in the right place mentally for it, but I'm going to try and do it anyway. And I just thought to myself, you know what, if I fail again, all I'll do is I'm going to do my last course in English, and I will do an open degree rather than a degree in modern foreign languages. And I've always been so caught up, because I was so academically well formed when I was younger. I don't want to sound big-headed, but I was quite academic when I was younger, and I think that I've got this kind of complicated mindset where I feel like an abject failure because I am not doing too well at uni. I probably will get a third. I can actually apply for my degree without honours, but I want the honours because I want to do a master's, and maybe I'm too hard on myself. A lot of people always say I'm too hard on myself, but I just feel like an abject failure. I just feel that I'm not doing as well as I could do. But really, when your head's not in the right place, and when you're so caught up in your daily life that you don't actually live your life. And that's another thing, that one of the, you know, quotes from Harry Potter that I love so much is, "It doesn't do to dwell on dreams and forget to live." That is one of the quotes that gets me through my life. And I know it sounds really daft, and I'm a Potterhead, and yes, I know I'm crazy, but I take things from books like that, and I just, you know, I try and live my life. I'm trying to force myself to live my life, and the problem is I'm also a perfectionist, and like this drives me absolutely crackers, but I don't have the willpower to go through it and put it all in order. And it's my fault anyway, because I've taken all the DVDs out and left them all over the place. my house isn't even a mess, and I just think, oh, I can't live in this clutter. I grew up in a house full of hoarders. I'm just like, if I could have it my way, I would be a minimalist, and I'd literally own the pair of clothes that I'm wearing, and I just, yeah. Anyway, this is getting very long, so I apologise for that. I'm just going to quickly say that the other day I went for a walk. I've just been trying to go for a walk every day and get my 10,000 steps, because exercise is really important for mental health, because you release endorphins when you exercise. So anyway, I went for a walk. I walked 10 miles the other day, and the other day when I went on my own, I walked at Beachy Head, and my husband phoned me, and he was like, oh, are you alright? I just wanted to check how you are, and blah blah blah, because he always phones me when I'm off sick to see how I am, because that's really lovely. It always makes me smile. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going for a walk at Beachy Head, and he was like, are you alright? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But I went for a walk at Beachy Head. It's a really beautiful place, but it's also, for those of you who don't know, it's a really kind of it's a suicide spot. It's a well-known suicide spot. I think it's one of the most well-known suicide spots in the United Kingdom. And when you walk around there are chaplains who come up to you if you look like you're about to jump. And there are loads of grave markers of people on the edge of the cliff where people have jumped, unfortunately. And, you know, I was walking around, I was catching Pokemon, first of all, obviously, so important. And the other thing was that I look at the memorials to these people that have lost their lives to depression, and I just think to myself that, you know, I've been in dark, dark, dark places. I've tried to commit suicide before. I know of people that have committed suicide, and there was one quite recently, and I absolutely, you know, I cried. I didn't even know the guy that well. I'd met him once, and I cried so much, and I thought, what would it be like to get to that point? And you know, I know in my heart that things get better, and I want you guys to know, if you're suffering with depression, that things do get better. And these people have lost their lives, and I never want my final hours and minutes to be racked with sadness and this bloody terrible illness. I don't want my last moments to be filled with that. I want my life to be filled with happiness. I want smiles, I want laughter. I want to live on this planet as long as I can. And I was looking at these memorials, and I was just feeling so sad for them. And I just wanted to respect those people that lost their lives to this disease. And, you know, the one thing that maybe my calling in life is just to tell people that, you know, life isn't that bad. Depression is pretty fucking awful. It really is. People don't understand it. People who've never had depression don't understand it. They just tell you to pull your socks up, and it's like, oh yeah, magical fairy wand, I am magically better. Brilliant. But it doesn't happen like that. But depression is an illness, just like cancer is an illness. We can beat it. Sometimes people lose their lives, like they do with cancer. It is an absolute awful, awful disease. And, you know, I'm here for anyone who is suffering. If you want to give me a private message, do it. I always believe in helping each other through things. I feel much better after rambling for 25 minutes to you guys. Anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling. I'm going to drink this tea before it gets completely cold. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully I will upload a video on Wednesday. Depends how I feel later on, if I can, you know, manage to. I always say if I could be bothered, but it's not being bothered, it's having the willpower to get my bones moving and get my brain ticking over and all of that. So, I apologise that this has been a long and rambling whinge fest. I love you guys so much. You guys keep me going. This video channel keeps me going. I honestly don't know where I would be if I couldn't record my feelings to you guys. I just want to thank you all for being there for me. I want to thank you all for giving me the time of day. leave a like and a comment down below if you feel these things that I've felt in this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I am absolutely terrible at buys, so I'm just gonna go.